Next, in the mathematics of the modern world, after learning about the number patterns, let's move to the language of mathematics. Upon completion of this lecture, the students should be able to discuss the language, symbols, and conventions of mathematics, explain the nature of mathematics as a language, recognize the analogy of mathematical language to the English language. The ancient civilizations would have never been formed if the ancient people never learned how to communicate. The ancient people invented a language in a way that all members of the society would understand what they wanted to convey. Take note that communication plays a huge part in building a community or society. So without proper communication or without the good means of communication, there would be no society. As the ancient civilizations learned how to read, write, speak, and listen, other human feats, including the concept of logic and mathematics, had also come to existence because they felt the need to count, to create and assign symbols, and to recognize having and not having. Recall from lecture 1, we discussed about the mathematical skills and mathematical need of the ancient people to size up and measure and count the resources that they had in the name of survival. Mathematics employs the use of numbers, expressions, variables, and other algorithms that all lean to logical truth. It is comprised of certain strict rules, laws, and propositions that, when followed, will lead you to mathematical wisdom. Just like any language that is new to an individual, the best strategy to master it or at least understand it is to learn the basics. For example, we have here two people conversing. 1 plus 1, ilan? 11? Anong 11? Eme lang. Galit na galit. The language of mathematics possesses the following characteristics. First, the language of math is precise or able to make very fine distinction. It is free from ambiguity and it is just black and white, very transparent. Second, concise, brief but complete. Third, powerful, able to express complex thoughts with relative ease. Now, in order for you to learn mathematics, you must understand that mathematics is a language. When you first learned the English language, you started from the basic concepts. Recall from the basic English language, we have the following terminologies. First, word. It is a single distinct meaningful element of speech or writing. Phrase, a group of words standing as a single unit with no complete thought. And then last, the sentence. It's a set of words that convey a complete thought in a form of a statement, question, exclamation, or command. So if you remember, a statement is declarative, question, interrogative, exclamation, exclamatory, and command, imperative. Now, let's have a brief comparison of English and mathematics when it comes to the parts of speech. In the English language, we have the noun. In Filipino, pangalan. Noun is used to name living or non-living things properly or commonly. What are the examples of this? For example, we have here Daryl. This one is a name of a person, a proper noun. Mandaluyong, a name of a place, a proper noun. Dog, a common noun, which is an animal. And then bridge, a common noun. Now, in mathematics, nouns are analogous to numbers. A number is an arithmetical value representing a particular count or value of something. What are the example of this? 1, 22, 55, negative 32, 1.25, 2.45. So these are the counterparts of nouns in English. Numbers do not convey a complete thought. Nouns don't as well. So just take note that these are words, aren't they? And these are mathematical words as well. They do not convey a complete thought. Next, pronoun. Pronoun is used to refer to a noun. In Filipino, panghalip na humahalili sa pangalan. Okay, we use it to replace or substitute the noun in a sentence. What are the examples of this? We have he, her, theirs, and then its. Not this one, huh? Okay? So take note that we use the pronouns to substitute any noun. For example, we substitute this to Daryl, and then her. Let's say this one is possessive, no? Okay, Hershey's. Okay, and so on. Now, what is the counterpart of pronouns in mathematics? We have the variables. A variable is a symbol, usually a letter in the alphabet, to denote a particular quantity whose value is arbitrary or can be assigned or solved for. Let us emphasize this. Alright, what's the example of this? Let x be the number of students. The variable x. X here is the variable. Let capital V be the volume of a cylinder. Capital V is the variable. Let capital T be the initial temperature. Let theta be the angle. Variables do not convey a complete thought. Pronouns do not as well. Numbers and variables standing on their own are like English words standing alone. They do not convey a complete thought. Always remember that. Now, conjunction. Conjunctions are used to connect words, phrases, or sentences. So what are the examples of conjunctions? These: oceans and engines, old but gold, hot or cold. So these highlighted or red words, these words in red are examples of conjunctions. Now, in mathematics, what's the counterpart of the conjunctions? We have the operators. Operators are symbols used to indicate an operation between or among mathematical quantities. For example, we have 6 plus 4. This one is the operator. That corresponds to the conjunctions in English. 10 minus 5, 2 times 0, x divided by 4, and then we have intersection and then union. For example, we have the set. For example, we have A intersection B. This one implies A and B. Now, let's have the phrase. Phrase is a group of words standing as a single unit. It doesn't convey a complete thought. So, what's the examples of this? Oceans and engines, it's a phrase. Facebook friends. The apartment we once share. On the drive home, all of these are phrases. They do not convey a complete thought. Now, what's the corresponding analogy for phrase in mathematics? We have the expressions. An expression is a number or a variable standing alone or a combination of numbers or variables. Now, when you say combinations of numbers or variables, it can be a single term or connected by operators. X. So this one, although this one can be thought of as a word, okay? Next, 8 divided by 2. It's a phrase. Next, y over 2 minus 2 over x. And then 3x squared minus 5y squared. These are just mere expressions. They do not convey a complete thought. Now, verb. In order for a noun or a pronoun to be a complete thought, you need a verb. Verbs are words that show an action, occurrence, or state of being. Almost every sentence requires a verb to complete its thought. What are the examples of verbs? We have do, is, was, had done, has been seeing. Now, in mathematics, what are the verbs in mathematics? The verbs in math are used to complete the whole thought of the combination of expressions. What are the examples of this? We have here equals. This is read as is equal to, not equal to, greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to, is less than, and then is greater than. These mathematical verbs complete or make a sentence or make up a mathematical sentence. Now, sentence. Sentence is a group of words that have a subject and a predicate. Take note that here we're talking about declarative sentences only. What are the example of sentences? First, Daryl is 31 years old. She bought 5 apples and 3 oranges. She had 8 altogether. Third, my husband's weight cannot be more than 50 kilograms. Now, what is a mathematical sentence? It's a combination of numbers or variables connected by equality or inequality symbol. It is composed of left-hand side and right-hand side. Okay, let us translate the following statements into their symbolic forms. Daryl is 31 years old. We can write it as D equals 31. It becomes a sentence, right? Next, 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Take note that this one is a mathematical sentence already because you can say whether it's true or false. Third, W is less than or equal to 50. So you can say whether it's true or false depending on the context. Now, just like in English language, syntax is very important. In math, we should follow the correct arrangement of the numbers, symbols, and operators for the mathematical sentence to make sense and be understood. For example, for an algebraic term, numbers come first. Take a look on this. I cooked pancakes. This one is syntactically correct. However, when you say pancakes cooked I, this one is syntactically incorrect. In mathematics, 2xy should not be written as x2y or xy2. Take note that this one is an incorrect way in writing an algebraic term. X plus 2 should not be written as 2x plus. Okay, take note that this one is incomplete. What's next? Okay, you must avoid doing this, no? The number always comes first. There, it should be here. Synonyms. In English, there are synonyms, right? For example, when you say fat, this one is synonymous to chubby. Correct? When you say beautiful, this one is synonymous to pretty. Now, in mathematics, we also have synonyms. A mathematical expression can be expressed in many different ways, but possess the same exact value or meaning. Such quantities are equivalent to each other. For example, the red person here says 0.5 and then the blue person says 1/2. These are equivalent expressions. Now, as an example, give equivalent expressions for the number 6. 6 is an integer. We will discuss the rational numbers in the next subtopic. 6 can be expressed as 12 over 2 and also 60 over 10. We can also make it 54 over 9, etc. So these are the expressions that we are looking for. 3 of the many expressions that are equivalent to the number 6. Next, simplification. In the English language, especially in business and technical writing, we want to eradicate words, phrases, or even sentences that make the entirety lengthy or redundant. Because in the English language, we want to make our reader interested in reading what we wrote. Okay? We don't want to bore them. We don't want to make them feel like they are reading something that wastes their time, no? Now, in mathematics, the simplification is also happening. In mathematics, we simplify expressions to their simplest form. The fraction 2 over 6 has 1/3 as its lowest form. If you were to slice a pizza, getting 2 slices out of 6 is the same as getting 1 out of 3 total slices, just like what you see here on the picture. So if you will get 2 slices out of 6, why not just cut the pizza into 1/3? Okay, that's the same. Now, the red person here says 2/4 and then the other says 1/2. 1/2 is the simplest form of 2 over 4. Logical truth. A mathematical sentence can always be true, always false, sometimes true, or sometimes false. We're going to talk about this in propositional logic in the future lessons. Now, in the meantime, let us determine whether the following mathematical sentences are true or false. Number 1, 4 plus 5 equals 9. This one is true. 6 minus 1 equals 3. This is false, obviously. X plus 2 is greater than 5. This is, how do you judge this statement? X plus 2 is greater than 5. So this one is true only for values x is greater than positive 3. We'll talk about this further in propositional logic. And then for this one, the third one, we'll discuss this in predicate logic.